Hi Pisces, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's my pleasure to read for you. And as you know, these readings are timeless and signless. They need not be accessed at the time that they're being published. And they need not be accessed by an actual person of the Piscean persuasion. If it resonates for you, then chances are it's for you. I do want to say that before I started the video, I just threw a few cards. You can see it here. Just to get an idea of what's going on. And based on what I'm seeing, it looks like you may be, it almost feels like bypassing a certain opportunity in your life because of what it looks like. It may look like it's too good to be true. It may look like something that, you may even say, I've been there, done that. Oh, that's going to be boring. Or something within you is causing you to see something and kind of make a decision on in the heart space, or what to you feels like the heart space, to bypass it and wait for something better. So I see that happening, and to be honest, for some of you it actually feels like it could be a romantic situation that's presenting itself, but it need not be. Of course, if you'd like to delve more deeply into whatever this energy is and as it relates to you on an individual level within the context of your soul curriculum, you can feel free to reach out to me. I do offer intuitive counseling services for you, as well as intuitive readings, and as always, my pleasure. All right, but that being said, let's continue on with the rest of the reading. But listen, here's what I'm going to say about this. Spirit is saying very simply that the reason why you may be seeing object A, opportunity A, situation A, whatever it is, person, place, thing, situation, or idea, and deciding to move forward without really investigating it or getting caught up or entangling yourself. These are just different words that may be used by different people. And so they're just trying to cast that net a little bit. And the reason why, simply stated, is because you have asked Spirit to provide something of value to you. But you're trying to come with a cup. Ding! Super cute. You know me, I'm all about those cups for hot beverages. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. But you're trying to come with a cup to a source, Spirit, the divine creator, that is unlimited. So you're trying to come, and here's another word of saying this, you're trying to come with limited perspective, understandably, through conditioning, through your physiologic processes going on, and you're trying to approach something that knows no limitation. You're trying to come with ideas already set forth, which understandably your mind and your stored emotional memory is going to tap into in order to help you navigate the world, basically using your experience to identify things coming forward. And so what you're doing is you're basically, from an energetic perspective, coming with ideas already set to an energy, a source that is only able to give to you based on the level of leeway that you give. 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Here's another way of looking at that. You're asking God who is able to provide that all that is, which falls squarely into the category of things that you know, things that you don't know, things that you know that you don't know. Wait, no, let me say that again. Things that you know, things that you know you don't know, things that you don't know that you know, there it is, and then firmly into the inconceivable fourth category, the things that you have no idea exists at all. So if you're trying to basically ask Spirit to provide for you with a capital P, you must come empty-handed. Don't come with a bowl, because Spirit's going to be like, you're like, please for some more. Spirit's like, oh, hold out your insert here, and you're like, your cup. Spirit's going to be like, oh, let me take all of this and just pull a little bit and fit it neatly into your cute little cup. We all love cups, God bless, right? But if you are interested in being moved by the divine, 4 minutes, 44 seconds, being led to the kingdom, whatever your language is, right? If you're here to be divinely provided for, to be moved by the great hand, blah, 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 breaking it down, because this is all discourse. If you're here to receive, what's in your highest interests. Don't come with an idea of what your interests are. You come to Spirit and you say, "Hi, may I please receive my optimal goodness? What is for my highest good?" And when Spirit sees that you did not come with expectations, cup, bowl, backpack, rucksack, I had to say that. When do you get to say that? It's going to provide you with the appropriate vessel. It's going to, the form, right? It's going to provide you with the appropriate vessel. It's going to provide you with the appropriate amount. It's now gotten the reins of your experience. And this is what it means to the guides are saying survive. Yes, for a lot of us, this is what it means to survive. You survive through surrender. You survive. And when you're trying to survive in this world, 5 minutes, 55 seconds, you're literally at the lower end of Maslow's pyramid here. You're trying to survive. You're trying to provide for yourself. You're trying to make cuts, cutting costs, limiting yourselves. But when you lift and you elevate your concept of survival, this is a perception change. When we heal our perceptions, we're just healing our beliefs. When you start to believe that survival is not what you thought it was, survival is more of a multidimensional thing. It belongs to the realm of the divine. Now you start to see an intellectual distinction. And from our level, it looks like an intellectual distinction of mere survival at the human level and divine survival. But from where Spirit's sitting, they're like, oh, it's either you get it or you don't. Oh, you don't get it. So you're still trying to be about that, cutting costs situation, sacrificing things in your life because you have a limited perception of what can be provided for you. But when they see that you've tapped into surrender, they see that your heart and your mind and your will are in the right space. This is divine heart, divine mind, divine will. And what that looks like is simply surrendering and understanding the role. A Course in Miracles teaches us that we have an authority problem. We keep forgetting who's in charge here. Now, some of you, if you have religious programming, you're going to start to wrap what I'm saying into a religious blanket. Oh, the Father, God-fearing, and this my divine provider. And that's fine. Whatever you need to hear in order to get you to stay unlimited. For some of you who don't have that religious persuasion, you're going to wrap it in some other thing. If it's science, you're going to wrap it in scientific terms. If it's happenstance and you like to go with the wind and you're a free spirit, you're going to wrap it in whatever it is. If you're an agnostic and you've got your own things, bells and whistles that will work for you, whereas for another agnostic it won't work because they need their own thing, that's your stuff. So the point is, you're starting to discern what is at the level of humanity. And I'll just give you the straight up answer to that. Form, discourse, visage, situations, details, people, places, things, ideas, situations, all of that. That's form. Energy, frequency is what is beyond the level of human consciousness. Human consciousness is very low. It's a low vibration. Because, listen, the fact that you are in the physical, you must know that you're occupying a low vibrational state, because really our energetic isness is not this dense. And in fact, all of our cousins in creations, the unicorns, the gnomes, the elves, the mermaids, and all of the other ones that we haven't even heard of in our myths and whatever we sure can't perceive of, they're no longer inhabiting the physical space, because as a species, they have elevated their consciousness. Their energetic vehicles are no longer carrying the dense frequencies that we do. So on the Earth's plane, if you're a soul and you want to have a heavy, ego-driven, pain-based, suffering, confused, victim consciousness, low self-worth, forgetting the divine kind of experience. Why? To grow from, to experience. You know how the soul's gonna do what the soul's gonna do. We don't know, right? Then you're coming here. And what body will you need? You're going to need a physical vessel. Now, they're pointing out that there are certain beings here, whales, and other cute little beings that are here to assist humanity. And they're in the physical, but don't get it confused. Their divinity is intact. Okay? So when we think about ourselves, we start to understand, wow, this is a little bit of a conflicting, contradictory, somewhat socially mainstream, dangerous ideology. It's coming up against all my thoughts and my limitations. And I start to order this conversation and this understanding in a logical 3D mindset. So I need A to lead to B and B to lead to C in order for me to understand how A relates to C, and it has to sound good and has to make sense, and there can't be conflict and paradox, and who's the messenger? Who are you? What are your degrees, and what's your training, and who's listening? Are you guys smart enough? Are you the chosen? Discourse, ego, drama from a higher perspective. At the end of the day, what's happening is we are multidimensional beings. We are living and have been living a multidimensional experience. The problem is, and always has been since we've been coming to this planet, the inability to perceive of that which is right here in our face. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Look to your left, look to your right. You've got at least one angel standing there. Now, your conscious mind might try to describe what an angel is. Some of you think it's religious, 11 minutes, 22 seconds. Some of you think it's alien. They're aliens. Some of you think, oh, they're not real. And that's the level of your belief. But I want you to start to understand, and I say this, and talking to myself too, because I'm human and I'm just a channel, so I'm taking notes also. But just because it doesn't make sense to you, 11 minutes, 44 seconds, just because it doesn't seem real to you, just because it's not lauded or valorized in your society, just because you have an opinion about it, does not mean what you're thinking is reality. And this is a very hard concept for human beings because we are so, in this current level of our experience, self-oriented that we just cannot wrap our minds around the idea that we are children in many ways in the grand scheme of what is occurring around us. And our limitations come at the level of our societies. If you want to see your limitation, look to your society. And unfortunately, because we lack on so many levels the allowance ideologically, the permission to even have an open mind towards things, that creates the stuckness. So take it from me, when these messages come through for you today, just take it, seek to understand it. If you can't seek, ask Spirit to help you to know how to access it. Because these truths are beyond the level of ideology. And they must be. Because how can you get an infected computer system to compute? You have to introduce something from outside of it, an antivirus, right? So this is what it means, coming back to our just general discussion, to invite the divine. And when you're inviting the divine, you're asking for the highest and purest vibrations to come through. Because, a lot of beings out here are like, I'm a divine, and they don't have it. They don't have the frequencies. It's frequency. Frequency, frequency, frequency. It's either you vibe with it or you do not. And so we all can at some point, but we all are not in this now moment. And so the point I'm trying to say is, if it is your intention to receive that which is for your optimal goodness, your optimal benefit, which will directly translate into the highest good for your environment and the people in your environment, whether they feel it or not is the case, you must surrender your expectations, your ideology. And that's why when we start to really talk with the divine, there are no words. There are no words. You just look up and you just let your heart do the talking. You trust yourself to ask, and just say, okay, I'll ask tonight when I go to sleep. Go to sleep, just know that you've done it. But Spirit already knows. The fact that you're asking has already taken place. It's your conscious mind that is now thinking it's got an idea and it's making a plan to ask. So this message is coming through as an answer to a question that many of you have already asked on some level. And now your conscious mind is trying to kind of like experience it, and it might feel new. So Pisces, stay open, because something is coming to you that you cannot recognize. Don't look over anything.